Enough, we get more profit from the goat side, unlike the cows. The cows, I was saying, they are not forgiving. If you give cows food that will produce 20 kgs of 20 liters of milk, there is no miracle that that cow will give you a tea, because you gave it 2 kgs, give you 80 liters. What I'm saying, whatever a cow eats and whatever it gives you equal. Most times they go hand in hand. So for the goats is where we get most of our profit. Most of our profit comes from the goat milk, goat manure, selling the goats themselves. Higher about health, a good dairy goat should not be fat. First of all, we don't aim on very fatty dairy goats, because our business is not selling goats for meat. So I know from your past looking in, you will think you want a fat goat that you can eat anytime, but us, we want really small goats that we can maintain with just a little feed, and that's it. We just want milk from them.
So
then
how do you feed them then? Sorry, how do you feed them? Because what would be the ration for a goat a day for that dairy goat?
It depends. Now you see they're in different paddocks. So each paddock has a specific amount of feed it's being given. But for averagely speaking, for a goat, we just give a handful of dairy milk, just a handful, a female handful. I'm not speaking about Mungai's hand. I'm speaking about my hand. So just a handful of dairy milk. Then we give machicha. If silage is in stock, we give silage. When Lucerne is in stock, we give Lucerne. Then hey, that's it. Yes. So I'll brush off through feeds, because I believe if you have feeds right in your farm, everything else will come as a surplus. When you have the right feeds, anything else, I mean, milk production will come naturally. If you have feeds right, the disease nini will go down. Everything else you can manage. So I'll talk about feeds, then Mungai will talk about diseases. I believe when you know about diseases and the feeds, maybe I talk about business part of it, kidogo, then you can, whatever I have not mentioned, you will just ask me.
Detailed, and I'm very sure you have at least learned something from her, isn't it? Yes, for my case, I'm going to be so general in my talk, isn't it? Any problem? Like just a general talk, isn't it? Yes, just a general talk. She has talked about, as she was concluding, she has talked about survival for the fittest. Survival for the fittest. Like, I'll give you just a small story before I make my remarks, or before I speak what I want to speak, isn't it? Yes, there is this education system. I don't know whether you know Spartan. Spartan is a very small country. Are we together? There is this country known as Spartan. Like in every country in the world, they have an education system, isn't it? And for the education system to work, they have the objectives of that education system. Yes. So the aim of the government is to push the education system in order to achieve the objectives of that education system. But for your surprise, so many education systems in the world have never achieved their objectives. All right? Now, there is this country known as Spartan in history of education. This country decided what? Like the government of this country, Spartan, decided this is what we are going to do. We must achieve the objective of our education system. This we must. Like this was a mandatory. We must achieve the objectives of our education system. Do you know what they did? They wanted a country with military. Like every man in that country. So they must. So it's about survival for the fittest. That was the point. So, hope you have enjoyed the Have you seen the goats? Have you enjoyed? Yes, my name is Hezron Mungai. Hope you have not forgotten my name. That's my name. I'm in daily production, so that's my field. Like whatever I went to school to study, so daily production. So I'm a graduate in that field. So when it comes to production and value addition, so that's my field. So when it comes to like, have you tasted yogurt? How was the yogurt? It was good. So that's my work. Sawa. So that's my field. So when you have any question to do with value addition, you can ask me. Sawa. So like what I have been introduced here to speak about is about diseases. So when it comes to farming, like you will always experience challenges, but to your surprise, even the challenges that you are experiencing, you don't know like the source of those challenges. Sawa. You might be experiencing a certain disease, but for your surprise, you don't even know the source of that disease. Sawa. So like for our case, in this case, hope you have seen like we have those water baths, like in every entrance. Like in some cases, you have seen buckets, and you have realized for some cases, like for the calves region, like that person, he must dip like the gumboots before he enters to. That is what we call biosecurity. So hope you know about biosecurity. So that is what we have really insisted in our place, because when it comes to such kind of farming, you will always experience the outbreak of diseases. And for our case, the outbreak that we have experienced like for 2 times, it's foot and mouth. That's all. Foot and mouth. Then we have the rampant skin. So those are so common in cows. The rampant skin and the foot and mouth. For goat, we have the goat pox and the goat offs, that is offs. Then for pigs, we have what we call swine and fever. Swine and fever. But for our case, we have experienced foot and mouth. So. But for the foot and mouth, when we experienced it, like I have been here, like, let me say like I have been here, like I have seen this farm grow. Because I have been here for like 8 years now. So like, 8 years is not a short period of time. It's quite some long period of time. So at least I have seen the farm grow. So at least I have seen the challenges that the dairy farming experiences. I have seen the benefits of farming. I have seen so many people, like I know so many things about diseases, so many things about human resource. So I have experienced so much in all those areas. So for my case, like I have experienced now the foot and mouth, when you realize like when the cows have those wounds. And for our case, we had to go to an extent of even washing every single cow using the magadi. You see? The magadi. You see, it can be really sad. Imagine losing such kind of a big herd. So, like, you must be in a position to control. And you must be so strict on biosecurity. Because, like, it just happens. But now for our case, what we do, we just do the vaccination. So we vaccinate, like, after, like, yearly, on annual basis, we vaccinate, like, for cows, we must vaccinate the rampant skin, and we must vaccinate the foot and mouth. And for pigs, we must vaccinate the swine and fever. Now, surprisingly, we experience foot and mouth. Cows were affected, goats were not affected. I don't know the reason. You see, like, they are, like, in the same area. I don't know the reason, but cows were affected, goats were not affected. So it's always advisable to do vaccination prior. Sawa. Just do vaccination for all those diseases. Once you do vaccination, you have controlled the diseases with about like 90%. But for our case, you realize like apart from those like outbreak diseases, we have some other tiny diseases. Like for our, like if you are focusing with cows, you realize that like the age where cows will be most affected with the diseases is the calves. So you realize that if there is mortality, there will be mortality rate in the calf section, but not into the adult cow. That's how. So you must take control to the calf's pen. So what we do in our case, like for the calves, like main challenges with calves is 1, diarrhea, 2, pneumonia. So those are the 2 diseases. They will always challenge you. So if you are not prepared with those diseases, you are most likely going to face so many challenges, or you are going to lose your cow to your calf. So you must be prepared at that various stage in life of a cow, when the cow is young. So like you must observe hygiene. Really observe hygiene at that area. Because if you don't observe hygiene, you will always experience diarrhea for calves. And diarrhea will always kill your calves if you are not careful. Sawa sawa. So just manage calves well. Just manage diarrhea, just manage pneumonia. Sawa sawa. So those are the main challenges that we face on that end. For cows, like for milkers, there is this common disease, mastitis. Like when you are milking the cow, once you are done with milking the cow, the opening of the teat, it remains open for like 7 minutes. Do you know that? So it remained open for the 7 minutes. So if that cow, you are done with milking that cow, then that cow goes and sleeps where there is that bacteria of mastitis, that cow is going to be infected. If you don't realize that problem area, the whole under is going to be affected. If the whole under is going to be affected, one, we will either lose teeth in the cow. The cow had 4 teeth, now it has 3 teeth. The cow had 4 teeth, now it has got 2 teeth. Now, if the cow, you are pricing it at maybe 300 Kenyan shillings, if it is infected with mastitis, its price goes down maybe to 100,000 Kenyan shillings. You see, you are making loss. So at that stage, hygiene must be observed. So it's about hygiene. It's about hygiene. If with proper hygiene, you have controlled like 90% of the diseases. So. Yes, I can talk a lot. I don't know whether you have specific questions regarding what I'm speaking about. Any question? No, I don't think it has got any effect. Then you see like our shades are highly laced, so there is enough penetration of hair. Then we have those iron sheets that arouse transmission of sunlight direct. We have those specific iron sheets. So I don't think we have such kind of challenge.